What if I told you that the most unforgettable women aren't the ones who try the hardest, but the ones who master the art of presence and absence? Not because they play games, not because they chase, but because they've unlocked something far deeper, the ability to leave an emotional imprint a man can't shake. Let's be real, many women have been conditioned to overgive, to explain, to prove their worth. But what if you didn't need to prove anything? What if, just by being you, but the most elevated version of you, you could shift the entire dynamic? No more chasing, no more second guessing, just power. Quiet, undeniable, radiant power. Today, I'm revealing the 10 magnetic skills that don't just make a man miss you, they make him feel your absence in his bones. Not because you're gone, but because your presence was so unforgettable. This isn't about pretending. It's about becoming. Becoming the kind of woman who doesn't beg for attention, because she already owns the room. Ready to step into that energy? Let's begin with the very first skill, the one that will hook his mind, stir his soul, and leave a lasting echo even after you've walked away. 1. The power of mystery. Let me ask you something. Do you think he's truly curious about you? Does he lay awake at night wondering who you really are, what you're thinking, or what lights you up inside? If not, it's time to add a little mystery to your life. Mystery is not about withholding information or playing hard to get. It's about creating a sense of depth that he can't easily unravel. Think of it like this. People value what feels rare, unique, and slightly out of reach. The more predictable and accessible you are, the less intriguing you become. Here's the truth. Men are naturally wired to seek challenges. When you reveal everything about yourself too quickly, it takes away the excitement of discovery. Instead, what if you allowed him to earn glimpses into your world? What if you made him work for the privilege of truly knowing you? Start with this simple practice. The next time you're tempted to overshare, pause. Ask yourself, does he need to know this now, or can I let him uncover it later? Share just enough to spark his interest, but leave him hungry for more. For example, if he asks about your weekend plans, you don't need to give him a play-by-play. Instead, say something like, I've got a couple of exciting things planned. I'll tell you about it later. Notice how this statement opens a loop in his mind, making him curious and eager to follow up. Another way to cultivate mystery is by maintaining a life that's truly your own. Have passions, hobbies, and friendships that don't revolve around him. When he sees that you're a whole, vibrant person independent of his presence, it creates a magnetic pull. He'll want to know more about what makes you tick, what excites you, and how he can become a part of your incredible world. But don't stop there. Mystery isn't just about what you say or don't say. It's also about how you carry yourself. When you walk into a room, do you radiate confidence, or do you shrink into the background? The way you move, speak, and engage with others speaks volumes about the energy you bring. If you want to leave him yearning for your presence, let your actions whisper the words your lips don't need to say. Here's a quick challenge for you. The next time you're with him, hold back just a little. Let the silence linger after a great conversation. Let your eyes do the talking instead of filling the space with words. Let him feel the anticipation of what's left unsaid. Because here's the secret. When he's left wondering about you, he's thinking about you. When he's trying to decode your emotions or replaying your last interaction, he's investing emotional energy in you, and that energy creates a connection he won't be able to ignore. Now, imagine this. Every time he doesn't hear from you, instead of feeling relief, he feels the weight of your absence. Every time you step away, he's counting the minutes until he can get close to you again. That's the power of mystery. It leaves him captivated, intrigued, and deeply aware of the space you occupy in his world. So, tell me, are you ready to embrace the art of mystery? If you've mastered this skill, the rest will fall into place naturally. Let's keep the momentum going as we uncover the next game-changing way to make him feel your absence on a profound level. 2. Mastering emotional independence. Have you ever stopped to think about how much of your happiness is tied to him? Do you find yourself waiting for his text to feel validated, or adjusting your mood based on his attention or lack of it? If so, you're not alone. But here's the hard truth. Nothing makes a man take you for granted faster than when you make him the center of your world. Emotional independence is the secret weapon that sets you apart from every other woman in his life. It's about showing him without saying a word that while you enjoy his company, your happiness doesn't depend on him. This is what makes a man miss you when you're not around. It's the undeniable allure of a woman who's confident, self-sufficient, and unshakable in her own joy. So, how do you master this powerful skill? It starts with taking back your energy. Instead of waiting for him to fill your emotional cup, focus on filling it yourself. What brings you joy? What lights up your soul? Whether it's dancing, painting, running your business, or spending time with close friends, lean into the things that make you come alive. When your life is rich and fulfilling, you naturally become magnetic. Here's a scenario. Imagine you're always the one texting him first, or rearranging your schedule to accommodate his. Over time, he starts to sense that you're always there waiting, ready for him to decide the terms of the connection. But what happens when you stop? When you begin to focus on yourself and your passions instead of obsessing over him, he'll feel the shift. Suddenly, you're not as available, not as predictable, and that space you create will make him realize how much he values your presence. Emotional independence doesn't mean ignoring him or being aloof. It means creating a life so full and vibrant that you don't need his validation to feel complete. When you exude this kind of confidence, he'll see you differently. He'll admire you, he'll respect you, and most importantly, he'll miss you when you're not there because he knows you're capable of thriving without him. It's also about setting boundaries. Let's be real. How often have you said yes when you wanted to say no just to avoid disappointing him? Boundaries are a form of self-love, and when you practice them, you're sending a clear message that your needs matter too. For example, if he wants to see you last minute and you've already made plans with friends, stick to your commitments. Politely decline and let him know you value your time. This subtle but powerful action communicates that you're not someone who's willing to drop everything for him, and that's incredibly attractive. Here's a critical question. Do you know who you are outside of the relationship? Too often, women lose themselves in the connection, forgetting the unique qualities and strengths that made them irresistible in the first double. Rediscovering your sense of self is crucial. Think back to who you were before you met him. What dreams did you have? What parts of you have been put on hold? When you reclaim your individuality, you become someone he's excited to know more about again and again. Stoicism plays a vital role here. It's about staying grounded and unshaken by external circumstances, including his behavior. When he senses that you don't need constant reassurance or validation, he'll recognize your emotional resilience. And trust me, nothing is more captivating than a woman who handles her emotions with grace and strength. Love Stoic women, those who balance warmth with self-reliance, are unforgettable. If you're wondering how to start this transformation, it begins with small but intentional steps. Start journaling about your goals and dreams outside the relationship. Commit to doing one thing each week that's just for you. It could be as simple as taking a class, trying a new hobby, or even spending time alone to recharge. The more you invest in yourself, the less reliant you'll be on him for your emotional well-being. Remember, when you thrive independently, he feels the difference. He'll notice the way you carry yourself with confidence, the way your energy lights up a room, and the way you make him want to earn his place in your life. That's the kind of absence he'll feel deeply, the absence of a woman who's whole, complete, and unshakably magnetic. If this resonates with you, hit that like button and drop a number 1 in the comments to let me know you're ready to take control of your emotional independence. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights like this. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next because we're just getting started. Let's unlock the next skill to elevate your relationships to a whole new level. 3. Confidence. Have you ever walked into a room and noticed how some women seem to command attention without saying a word? It's not about their clothes, their makeup, or even their beauty. It's about their energy. Confidence is magnetic, irresistible, and unforgettable. When you master the art of being confident in your own skin, you leave an indelible mark on everyone you meet, especially him. But let's get real for a moment. Confidence isn't something that magically appears, it's cultivated. It's built in the quiet moments when you choose to embrace yourself, flaws and all. So, how do you create the kind of self-assurance that makes a man feel your absence so deeply he can't stop thinking about you? First, understand this truth. Confidence begins with self-awareness. You need to know who you are, what you bring to the table, and what makes you unique. Start by asking yourself, what are my strengths? What makes me stand out? These don't have to be grandiose qualities. They can be the little things like your sense of humor, your creativity, or your ability to connect with others. Once you recognize your strengths, own them unapologetically. Think about how you carry yourself. Confidence is as much about your physical presence as it is about your mindset. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and walk with purpose. Your body language communicates volumes before you even say a word. When you move through the world with poise, people, including him, can't help but take notice. A key part of being confident in your own skin is learning to quiet that inner critic. You know the voice, the one that tells you you're not good enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough. Let me tell you something. That voice is lying. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing your imperfections and realizing they're what make you human, relatable, and yes, irresistible. If you're struggling to feel confident, start small. Wear that outfit you've been saving for a special occasion. Speak up in a conversation where you'd normally stay quiet. Try something new that challenges you and pushes you out of your comfort zone. Every time you take a step toward bravery, your confidence grows. Now let's talk about a hidden truth. Confidence is contagious. When you radiate self-assurance, the people around you can feel it. It's in the way you laugh freely, the way you engage in conversation, and the way you hold space for yourself without apologizing for who you are. A Stoic woman knows that her confidence isn't just about her. It's about creating an environment where others, including him, are drawn to her energy. But confidence isn't just about how you present yourself to others. It's also about how you treat yourself. Do you speak kindly to yourself? Do you honor your needs and prioritize your well-being? Confidence grows when you take care of yourself, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. When he sees that you value yourself, he'll naturally value you more. One of the most powerful aspects of confidence is its ability to make you unforgettable. When you're confident, you become the woman who stays on his mind long after you've left the room. He'll remember the way you smiled, the way you carried yourself, and the way you made him feel just by being unapologetically you. Confidence also has a curious way of creating space. When you're self-assured, you don't feel the need to cling or chase. You trust that you're enough, and that trust creates a natural sense of freedom in the relationship. This space isn't a void. It's an opportunity for him to lean in, to seek you out, and to feel the weight of your absence when you're not there. Finally, remember that confidence is a journey, not a destination. You won't wake up one day feeling completely self-assured, but every small step you take brings you closer. Celebrate your progress, honor your growth, and remind yourself daily that you are enough, exactly as you are. When you exude confidence, you're not just making him miss you. You're inspiring him to be better, to rise to your level, to appreciate the unique and radiant person that you are. That's the power of being confident in your own skin. He'll feel it in your presence and even more deeply in your absence. Let this be your moment to own your power, because the journey to confidence is one of the most rewarding paths you'll ever walk in. And the best part? It's a journey you take for yourself, first and foremost. 4. Strategic communication. Have you ever felt the urge to reply to his text within seconds, just to keep the conversation alive? Or maybe you found yourself sending a second message when he didn't respond fast enough, worried he might lose interest. Here's the truth. Sometimes the key to capturing his attention isn't about what you say. It's about how, when, and even if you communicate at all. Strategic communication is an art, and when mastered, it can leave him craving your presence in ways you never thought possible. Let's start with a simple but powerful principle. Less is more. Think of communication like a spark. If you constantly fan the flames, you risk smothering the fire, but if you give it air, space to breathe, it can grow into something much stronger. The same is true with your interactions. Responding immediately to every message or always being the one to initiate contact sends a subtle signal that you're too available, too predictable, and predictability doesn't create desire. It kills it. Instead, try spacing out your responses. If he texts you, don't feel pressured to reply instantly. Take your time. Focus on your day, your passions, your life, and then respond when it feels natural. When you're not always readily available, he'll start to wonder what you're up to, who you're with, and how he can get more of your attention. That curiosity is powerful. It makes him think about you, miss you, and want more of you. But strategic communication isn't just about timing. It's also about the content of your conversations. Do your messages leave an impression, or are they the same repetitive exchanges that anyone else could send? To stand out, focus on being memorable. Instead of asking, "How was your day?" try, "What was the most exciting thing that happened to you today?" Instead of saying, "Good night," try, "Dream about something amazing tonight. You deserve it." These small shifts turn ordinary messages into moments that stick with him. Now, let's talk about the power of silence. Silence isn't the same as ignoring him. It's about creating space for him to come to you. If he's used to you always initiating, take a step back and let him make the next move. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. You might worry that he'll forget about you or lose interest. But here's what actually happens. When you stop filling the silence, you give him room to feel your absence, and that absence is what sparks desire. Here's a question to ask yourself. Are you communicating with purpose or out of habit? So often, we text or call simply to fill the void, not because we have something meaningful to say. The next time you're tempted to reach out, pause and reflect. Does this message add value? Does it create intrigue or excitement? If not, consider holding back. Remember, the goal isn't to bombard him with messages. It's to make the ones you send count. Strategic communication also involves understanding his emotional triggers. What makes him feel valued, connected, or inspired? When you tap into those feelings through your words, you create a deeper bond. For example, if you know he's passionate about a certain hobby, ask thoughtful questions that show genuine interest. Or if he's had a tough day, send a message that's supportive without being overbearing. Thoughtful communication makes him feel seen, heard, and appreciated, and that's something he won't forget. Stoicism plays an important role here as well. Being calm and intentional in your communication shows emotional resilience, which is incredibly attractive. When you're not reactive, when you don't send impulsive messages or demand constant attention, you exude a sense of self-control and confidence that draws him in. Stoic women understand this balance intuitively. They know when to speak and when to hold back, creating a rhythm in their interactions that keeps him captivated. Now, let's address a common fear. What if he doesn't respond? What if he pulls away when you give him space? The answer lies in trust. Trust in yourself and the connection you're building. If he's truly interested, he'll notice the shift in dynamics and step up to meet you. And if he doesn't, then he's showing you that he's not invested at the same level, and that's valuable information. Strategic communication isn't about chasing him. It's about letting him come to you. Finally, remember that communication isn't just about words. Your tone, your energy, and even your body language in face-to-face interactions matter just as much. When you speak, do so with intention. When you listen, be fully present. And when you're together, let your actions speak louder than your words. The way you engage with him in person will amplify the impact of your digital communication, leaving him thinking about you long after you've said goodbye. If this approach to communication resonates with you, show some love by hitting that like button and dropping a number 1 in the comments below. And if you're ready to dive deeper into these transformative skills, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Trust me, there's so much more to discover, and you won't want to miss the next step in mastering your relationships. Together, we'll unlock the secrets to making him feel your absence in ways that will leave him yearning for more. 5. Building an irresistible lifestyle. Picture this, a life so full, vibrant, and exciting that people can't help but want to be a part of it. Imagine being the kind of woman who turns heads, not because of what she wears or how she looks, but because of the energy she carries, the energy of someone who's completely in love with her life. That's the power of building an irresistible lifestyle. When a man sees you thriving in your own world, it does something profound to him. It makes him realize that you're not waiting around for his attention or approval. Instead, you're focused on creating a life that's fulfilling, joyful, and uniquely yours. And the truth is, nothing is more captivating than a woman who's deeply engaged in her own happiness. So, how do you build a life that draws him in, even in your absence? Start by reconnecting with what makes you feel alive. What are the things you've always wanted to do but haven't made time for? Maybe it's learning a new skill, exploring a creative hobby, or diving into an area of personal growth. Whatever it is, now is the time to invest in yourself. One of the most powerful ways to make a man feel your absence is by being a woman he admires. When he sees you chasing your goals, taking risks, and stepping outside of your comfort zone, he'll be inspired by your courage and independence. He'll recognize that you're someone who doesn't just talk about dreams, you live them, and that realization will make him crave your presence in ways he can't fully explain. It's not just about the big, bold moments, though. Building an irresistible lifestyle is also about cultivating the small, everyday habits that bring you joy. Maybe it's starting your mornings with a cup of coffee and a book that inspires you. Maybe it's taking time to connect with nature, joining a local class, or spending time with friends who lift you up. These little moments create a life that feels rich and meaningful, and that energy is impossible to ignore. Now let's talk about your social circle. The people you surround yourself with have a huge impact on the energy you radiate. When you have strong, supportive friendships, it not only enriches your life, but also makes you more magnetic to others, including him. He'll notice the way you light up when you're with your friends, the way you laugh freely, and the way you're celebrated by those who know you best. That sense of community is incredibly attractive, and it's something he'll want to be a part of. An irresistible lifestyle is also about balance. It's not just about being busy for the sake of being busy. It's about being intentional with your time. When you focus on activities that align with your values and passions, you create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. And when your life feels full, you naturally exude confidence, independence, and joy. Stoicism ties beautifully into this concept. When you adopt a love Stoic mindset, you learn to find peace and contentment within yourself, regardless of external circumstances. This inner calm is magnetic. It shows that you're not easily swayed by life's ups and downs, and that your happiness comes from within. Men are drawn to women who possess this kind of inner strength because it's a quality that's both rare and deeply compelling. Here's a powerful shift to consider. Stop waiting for someone else to create the life you want. Too often, we fall into the trap of thinking, when I meet the right person, I'll finally feel complete. But the truth is, the right person is drawn to you when you're already complete on your own. When you take charge of your happiness and create a life that feels fulfilling, you become the kind of woman who doesn't just attract attention, you keep it. Let's not forget one key detail. Building an irresistible lifestyle isn't about impressing him. It's about impressing yourself. It's about waking up each day feeling excited about what's ahead, knowing that you're living a life that's true to who you are. And when you live with that kind of authenticity, the right people, including him, will naturally be drawn to you. Imagine this. He's scrolling through his day, thinking about you. He knows you're out there living your best life, surrounded by energy, passion, and purpose. He can feel your absence not as a void, but as a presence, a sense that you're somewhere thriving, shining, and creating memories he wishes he could share. That's the power of an irresistible lifestyle. When you build a life you love, you don't just make him miss you. You inspire him to rise to your level. You challenge him to match your energy, to be a part of the world you've created, and to earn his place by your side. And that's a feeling he'll never forget. 6. Social circle charm. Have you ever noticed how attractive someone becomes when they're surrounded by people who admire and celebrate them? There's something undeniably magnetic about being part of a vibrant, supportive social circle. It's not just about the friends you have. It's about the energy and confidence you exude when you're thriving in those connections. And when it comes to making a man feel your absence, the way you navigate your social life can be a game changer. Men are naturally drawn to women who are loved and appreciated by others. It's a psychological effect known as social proof. When he sees that you're valued by those around you, it deepens his perception of your worth. He starts to see you not just through his eyes, but through the admiration of everyone else in your life. And the best part, when you're thriving socially, he'll begin to feel your absence more intensely because he'll realize just how much he misses being part of your dynamic world. So, how do you harness the power of your social circle to leave an unforgettable impression? Start by nurturing your friendships. Reach out to those friends who lift you up, who challenge you to be your best self, and who make you laugh until your stomach hurts. Spend time with people who make your world brighter, and make sure those connections are strong and authentic. When you're actively involved in your social life, you create moments that make you come alive. Whether it's hosting a dinner party, going out for a night of dancing, or having deep conversations over coffee, these experiences enrich your life and leave you radiating joy, and that joy is contagious. It's the kind of energy that makes others, including him, want to be around you. But here's the key. Let him see you thriving. Share glimpses of your social life in a natural, effortless way. Maybe it's through photos of you and your friends having the time of your lives, or maybe it's a passing comment about how much fun you had over the weekend. These small details remind him of the incredible life you're living and the amazing people who are part of it. And don't underestimate the subtle yet powerful effect of exclusivity. When he knows that you have a busy, fulfilling social calendar, he'll begin to realize that your time and attention are valuable. He'll understand that being part of your world is a privilege, not a given, and that awareness creates a sense of longing. He'll want to earn his place in your life because he sees how cherished you are by others. Building a strong social circle also strengthens your confidence. When you're surrounded by people who love and support you, it's easier to believe in your own worth. You'll start to see yourself through their eyes, as someone who's vibrant, capable, and deserving of great things. And that self-assurance will radiate in every interaction you have, making you even more captivating. Now let's talk about boundaries. A thriving social life doesn't mean overextending yourself or saying yes to every invitation. It's about choosing connections and experiences that align with your values and bring you genuine happiness. When you're selective about how you spend your time, you send a powerful message. Your energy is precious, and not everyone gets access to it. That exclusivity makes you even more desirable. A love Stoic woman knows the importance of balance. She embraces her social life with enthusiasm, but also takes time for herself to recharge and reflect. This balance is key to maintaining the magnetic energy that draws people in, including him. When you're able to flow effortlessly between social engagement and self-care, you create a sense of harmony that's both inspiring and attractive. Imagine this scenario. He sees a photo of you with your closest friends, laughing, glowing, and clearly having the time of your life. Or he hears about a meaningful moment you shared with someone in your circle. In that instant, he feels a pang of longing, not just for you, but for the world you've built. He starts to wonder what he's missing out on and how he can become part of it again. That's the kind of absence that leaves an impact. If you're ready to build a social circle that lights up your life and makes you truly unforgettable, start taking those steps today. And if this part of the journey resonates with you, hit that like button and drop a number 1 in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for even more tips on mastering your personal power and creating a life that's magnetic and irresistible. There's so much more to uncover, and I can't wait to share it with you. Let's keep growing together. 7. Understanding his emotional triggers. If you want to make a man feel your absence deeply, you need to understand one fundamental truth. Men, just like women, are driven by their emotions, even if they don't always show it. And when you know how to tap into his emotional triggers, you can create a connection that lingers long after you're gone. It's not about manipulation. It's about genuinely understanding what moves him, inspires him, and makes him feel truly seen. Every person has unique emotional triggers, those deep-seated needs and desires that, when fulfilled, create a sense of closeness and belonging. For many men, these triggers often revolve around respect, appreciation, and feeling like they're contributing to something meaningful. When you learn to speak to these emotional needs, you're not just connecting with him on a surface level, you're reaching a part of him that few people ever do. One of the most powerful ways to understand his emotional triggers is through observation. Pay attention to what lights him up. Does he come alive when he talks about his work, his hobbies, or his dreams? Does he seem most relaxed and open after accomplishing something significant? The key is to notice what matters most to him and reflect that understanding in your interactions. For example, if he values being respected for his efforts, acknowledge his achievements in a way that feels genuine and thoughtful. A simple, heartfelt comment like, "I really admire the way you handled that situation. It was inspiring to watch," can go a long way. It shows him that you see and appreciate him for who he is, and that kind of recognition leaves a lasting impact. On the flip side, understanding his emotional triggers also means being aware of his vulnerabilities. What are the things he's hesitant to share? What situations make him feel insecure or unsure of himself? When you're mindful of these aspects, you can approach your interactions with empathy and care, creating a space where he feels safe to open up. Sometimes it's not about what you say, but how you make him feel. When you're able to evoke emotions like excitement, curiosity, or comfort, you're creating experiences that he'll associate with you and only you. Think about a moment when you made him laugh uncontrollably, or when he felt completely at ease in your presence. These moments become emotional anchors, drawing him back to you even when you're not around. Another powerful way to tap into his emotional triggers is by sharing experiences that align with his passions. If he's an adventure enthusiast, plan an outing that speaks to his love for exploration. If he's a creative soul, engage him in meaningful conversations about his projects or ideas. When you show genuine interest in what matters to him, you're building a bridge that connects you on a deeper level. But here's the secret. It's not just about him. It's about creating a dynamic where both of you feel seen, valued, and appreciated. While you're learning about his emotional triggers, allow him to discover yours as well. Share your passions, your dreams, and the things that make you come alive. This mutual exchange of emotional energy creates a bond that's both authentic and unshakable. Stoicism offers a valuable perspective here. When you practice emotional balance and approach his triggers with calmness and intentionality, you're showing him that you're not only attuned to his needs, but also capable of handling the complexities of a relationship with grace. This kind of stability is rare, and it makes you stand out as someone who's truly worth cherishing. Imagine this. You've spent time truly understanding what drives him, and now, in your absence, he starts to feel the weight of that connection. He misses the way you recognized his efforts, the way you supported him when he felt uncertain, and the way you celebrated his wins as if they were your own. These memories don't fade easily. They linger, reminding him of the bond you've built. But understanding his emotional triggers isn't just about creating longing. It's also about fostering growth. When you connect with him on this level, you're encouraging him to step into the best version of himself. He feels inspired to rise to the occasion, not just for you, but for himself. And that inspiration is something he'll carry with him, making your presence unforgettable and your absence deeply felt. This isn't a skill you master overnight. It requires patience, curiosity, and a genuine desire to connect. But once you've tapped into his emotional world, you'll find that your connection becomes richer, deeper, and more fulfilling for both of. And when you're not there, he'll feel that space keenly, longing for the person who truly understands him. That's the kind of absence that leaves an indelible mark. 8. Developing unshakable boundaries. Boundaries, they're a word we hear often, but do we really understand their power? Here's the truth. Boundaries are not walls you build to keep others out. They're the lines you draw to protect your time, energy, and self-worth. And when you master the art of setting unshakable boundaries, you become the kind of woman who commands respect and admiration. So how do boundaries make a man feel your absence? It's simple. When you show him that your time and attention are valuable, he starts to value them too. When you set clear limits and stand by them, he realizes that you're not someone who will compromise your needs for his convenience. And that realization creates a longing for you, a deep appreciation for the person you are and the life you lead. Setting boundaries begins with knowing your worth. Ask yourself, what am I willing to accept? What behaviors, actions, or attitudes cross the line for me? These answers will guide you in defining your personal boundaries, and once they're clear in your mind, you can communicate them with confidence. For example, if you notice that he often cancels plans at the last minute, a boundary might sound like this. I understand things come up, but I value my time, so let's plan something when we're both sure we can commit. Notice how this statement isn't about punishing him. It's about honoring yourself. And when you do that, you send a powerful message that your time is not to be taken for granted. But boundaries aren't just about saying no. They're also about choosing yourself. If you're constantly overextending yourself to meet his needs, it's time to step back and ask, what do I need right now? Maybe it's taking time to recharge, pursuing a personal goal, or simply enjoying your own company. When you prioritize yourself, you show him that you have a rich, fulfilling life outside of the relationship, and that's incredibly attractive. Here's where it gets tricky. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to putting others' needs before your own. You might worry that he'll pull away or that you'll come across as difficult, but the truth is, boundaries don't push the right people away. They bring them closer. When he sees that you respect yourself enough to set limits, he'll respect you more too. Let's talk about emotional boundaries. These are just as important as physical ones, and they're often the hardest to enforce. For instance, if he tries to draw you into unnecessary drama or vents his frustrations at you, an emotional boundary might sound like this. I care about you, but I can't be your outlet for anger. Let's talk when we can approach this calmly. Statements like these protect your emotional well-being, while showing him that you value a healthy, respectful connection. But boundaries aren't just about what you won't tolerate. They're also about what you embrace. When you set boundaries, you're creating space for what truly matters in your life, your goals, your passions, and your personal growth. This is where Stoicism can guide you. By staying calm, intentional, and focused on your own journey, you become a beacon of strength and resilience. A love Stoic woman doesn't allow others to dictate her energy. She chooses where to invest it. Imagine this. He's used to people bending over backward for him, but you're different. You stand firm in your boundaries with grace and confidence. At first, he might be taken aback, but over time, he'll begin to admire you for it. He'll see you as someone who knows her worth, who isn't afraid to speak up for herself, and who won't settle for less than she deserves. And that kind of presence is unforgettable. Here's a small but powerful exercise. The next time you feel tempted to compromise your boundaries for his sake, pause. Ask yourself, what will this cost me? If the answer is your peace, your time, or your self-respect, hold the line. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Every time you choose yourself, you're reinforcing the message that your well-being comes first, and that makes you a force to be reckoned with. When you consistently uphold your boundaries, you create an environment of mutual respect and trust. He'll begin to understand that being in your life is a privilege, not a right. And when you're not around, he'll feel the absence of a woman who knows exactly who she is and what she stands for. That's the kind of absence that lingers in his mind and heart, leaving him yearning for more of your energy. If this resonates with you, and you're ready to start setting those unshakable boundaries, let me know by hitting that like button and dropping a number 1 in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights into mastering your relationships and stepping into your personal power. Together, we'll continue this journey to creating the life and love you deserve. Let's keep building something extraordinary. 9. Embracing subtle flirtation. Flirting. It's an art that's often misunderstood, yet when done right, it can leave a man thinking about you long after you've parted ways. But here's the catch. Flirting isn't about grand gestures or over-the-top compliments. The most effective flirtation is subtle, natural, and leaves just enough unsaid to spark his imagination. When you master this skill, you create a connection that lingers, making your absence feel like an intriguing mystery he can't help but solve. Subtle flirtation starts with body language, the way you move, the way you smile, the way you hold his gaze. All of these unspoken cues speak volumes. For instance, maintaining eye contact just a little longer than usual creates a sense of intimacy. Pair that with a soft smile, and you're sending a message that's both confident and inviting without saying a word. Another powerful tool in subtle flirtation is touch, but not just any touch. A light fleeting brush of your hand against his arm, or a playful nudge during a shared laugh, creates a physical connection that feels both spontaneous and natural. These small, seemingly insignificant gestures can have a profound impact, making him associate your presence with warmth and closeness. And then there's your voice. The tone, rhythm, and words you choose can create an atmosphere that's playful and alluring. Lowering your voice slightly when speaking to him, or pausing intentionally before responding, can build anticipation and make him hang on to your every word. It's not about what you say, but how you say it that keeps him intrigued. Playfulness is another key element. Teasing him lightly or challenging him in a fun, non-threatening way creates a sense of excitement. For example, if he's talking about something he's proud of, a cheeky response like, "Oh, is that your secret superpower?" adds a playful edge to the conversation. This kind of banter shows confidence and keeps the dynamic light and enjoyable. But subtle flirtation isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you withhold. Leave room for him to wonder about you. When he asks a question, don't feel the need to reveal everything. Instead, give just enough of an answer to pique his curiosity, like saying, "That's a story for another time," with a mischievous grin. This creates a sense of mystery that draws him in, making him eager to uncover more about you. What makes this approach so effective is that it respects his need to pursue. Men are naturally drawn to a challenge, and when you engage in subtle flirtation, you're inviting him to step into that role without overwhelming him. You're showing him that you're interested, but also confident enough not to overdo it. Subtle flirtation also allows you to stay authentic. It's not about putting on an act or trying to be someone you're not. Instead, it's about amplifying the best parts of yourself, your charm, your wit, your playfulness, and letting those qualities shine through naturally. When you flirt with ease and authenticity, he can sense it, and that's what makes it so irresistible. One of the most compelling aspects of subtle flirtation is its ability to create memories. Long after your conversation has ended, he'll find himself replaying moments in his mind, the way you smiled at him, the way your laughter lit up the room, or the way your eyes seemed to sparkle during a shared joke. These memories linger, making your absence palpable in the most intriguing way. A love-stoic mindset enhances this skill beautifully. When you're grounded in your own confidence and self-worth, you flirt from a place of abundance rather than neediness. You're not trying to win his approval or secure his attention. You're simply enjoying the connection and the moment. This kind of energy is magnetic, drawing him in without any effort to chase or convince. Imagine this. You shared a light-hearted conversation, exchanged a few playful touches, and left just enough mystery in your wake. As he goes about his day, he finds himself thinking about you, your laugh, your wit, the way you made him feel. That's the power of subtle flirtation. It's not just about capturing his attention in the moment. It's about leaving an imprint that stays with him, even in your absence. To master this skill, remember that less is often more. It's not about trying too hard or being overly calculated. Subtle flirtation is an extension of your natural charisma, a playful dance of connection that keeps him engaged and intrigued. When done with authenticity and ease, it becomes a powerful way to make him feel your presence, even when you're not around. In his quiet moments, when he's reflecting on the day, it's those subtle, flirtatious exchanges that will stand out in his mind. He'll miss the way you made him feel, special, excited, and completely captivated. And that feeling, that's what keeps him coming back for more, longing to be in your orbit again. 10. Mastering the art of disappearing gracefully. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is step back. Disappearing gracefully isn't about playing games or creating unnecessary drama. It's about creating space for him to truly feel your absence. When done with intention and elegance, it's a skill that not only makes him miss you, but also leaves him craving your presence in a way that feels deeply meaningful. Let's start with the mindset behind this. When you step back, you're not punishing him or testing his feelings. Instead, you're giving both of you the chance to reflect, breathe, and appreciate the connection you share. In a world where everyone is constantly connected, your ability to create space speaks volumes. It shows confidence, self-assurance, and a deep understanding of what it means to let him come to you. So how do you disappear gracefully? First, focus on yourself. Shift your energy toward your goals, passions, and personal growth. Whether it's diving into a creative project, spending time with loved ones, or simply taking time to recharge, immersing yourself in your life allows you to disconnect naturally and authentically. When he sees that you're not waiting around for him, it creates a sense of curiosity and admiration. Next, pull back without explanation. If you're always the one initiating conversations or plans, pause. Resist the urge to over-communicate or fill the silence. Instead, let him feel the shift in dynamics. At first, he might wonder what's changed, but over time, he'll begin to realize how much he values your presence and how much he misses it when it's not there. The key here is to disappear without resentment or bitterness. Graceful detachment isn't about cutting him off. It's about creating a subtle but impactful sense of longing. This requires a love-stoic approach, remaining calm, grounded, and focused on your own well-being, while giving him the opportunity to step up and re-engage. Another important aspect of disappearing gracefully is maintaining mystery. Don't broadcast every detail of your life on social media or in conversations. Instead, let him wonder what you're up to, who you're with, and what's capturing your attention. When he doesn't have all the answers, his curiosity will grow, and that curiosity will drive him to seek you out. But here's the real beauty of this skill. It's not just about making him miss you. It's about rediscovering yourself. When you take a step back, you create room for introspection, self-care, and personal growth. You remind yourself that your happiness doesn't depend on his attention. It comes from within. And when you radiate that inner strength, you become magnetic in a way that no amount of chasing could ever achieve. Imagine this scenario. He hasn't heard from you in a few days, and it's starting to weigh on his mind. He begins to replay your last conversation, wondering if he said something wrong or if you're upset. But then he realizes it's not about him. It's about you stepping into your power. And in that moment, he feels the weight of your absence not as rejection, but as a profound reminder of how much you mean to him. The art of disappearing gracefully also involves knowing when to return. This isn't about vanishing indefinitely. It's about reappearing with purpose and confidence. When you do reach out or reconnect, let it come from a place of warmth and authenticity. Show him that while you've been focused on your own journey, you still value the connection you share. But here's the twist. When you've mastered this skill, he's likely to reach out first. He'll feel compelled to close the gap, to reconnect, and to reignite the bond that he now realizes is irreplaceable. And when he does, the dynamic will have shifted. You'll no longer be the one seeking his attention. You'll be the one who commands it effortlessly. Let's not underestimate the emotional impact of this approach. When you disappear gracefully, you're creating a memory, a sense of your presence that lingers even in your absence. He'll think about the way you carry yourself, the way you light up a room, and the way you make him feel like no one else can. That memory will keep pulling him back, no matter how much time passes. If you're ready to master the art of disappearing gracefully, let me know by hitting that like button and dropping a number 1 in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights into creating a magnetic, fulfilling life that keeps you in control of your relationships and your happiness. Together, we'll continue exploring the skills that make you truly unforgettable. Let's keep growing, thriving, and making an impact both in his world and in yours. Now that we've explored these 10 transformative skills, I hope you see just how much power you hold in shaping the dynamic of your relationships. Each of these skills, whether it's embracing mystery, mastering emotional independence, or disappearing gracefully, is about stepping into your own worth, your own confidence, and your own unique magic. The truth is, making a man feel your absence isn't about manipulation or tactics. It's about becoming the kind of woman who's unforgettable. When you invest in yourself, nurture your passions, and live authentically, you naturally create a sense of longing in others. Your absence isn't just noticed, it's deeply felt. But this isn't just about him. It's about you becoming the most empowered, magnetic version of yourself. It's about living a life that feels full and exciting with or without a man by your side, because when you're grounded in your own value, the right people will always be drawn to you. So here's my challenge to you. Take what you've learned today and start implementing it in your life. Step into your power, set those boundaries, and cultivate a lifestyle that lights you up. Let him feel your absence not as a void, but as the echo of a woman who knows her worth. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like this video and drop a number 1 in the comments to let me know what resonated most with you. And if you're ready to keep exploring the secrets to love, connection, and personal growth, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an update. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. Here's to stepping into your power, embracing your worth, and becoming the kind of woman who's not just unforgettable, but truly unstoppable. I can't wait to see how you shine. Until next time, take care and remember, you're worth it.